All right, level three. Level three, when you're gonna be working to the next big three, which is gonna be a squat rack or a squat stand, a barbell, plates. Those would be the next big ones we're talking about. So, of course, this is a giant rack. You have no business getting anything of this nature unless you're just going to go adopt the whole she shed mentality or man cave mentality, or you're just going to have this awesome gym set up. When it comes down to squat racks, you have a rack situation as this. Now, this is a tall one. Most racks that you will get for a home use, this is 9 feet. Most racks will tend to be about 7. So considering it will be shorter, it can fit. You're going to see a couple different options. You're going to see racks that are a little bit more freestanding squat rack, which means, you know, they just sit on the ground. They're pretty heavy. They're very sturdy. It looks like a cage. The next one is a wall-mounted squat rack, which you can take a look at those, and we'll show you some examples online as well, to when half of that mounts into studs into the wall. Very secure, very sturdy, and actually a little cheaper in some cases. Then you have the third option, which is a squat stand. Squat stands tend to take up less of a footprint in the gym if space is a commodity on that one. The only thing is they're not bolted to anything, so if you get reckless with the barbell, racking or unracking a barbell, it will tilt, and I will show that into the next video. If you feel comfortable with the barbell, it'll be no concern to you whatsoever, because I'm here to tell you guys a lot of some of the most amazing lifters that I've seen out there, from power lifters to Olympic lifters, use squat stands because they're just easy. They're easy to move around, easy to transport. So those are a couple different options. Now, when it comes down to cost-wise and where to get it. So cost-wise, a squat stand can run you brand new. A squat stand will run you brand new, pretty much about $250 for something I consider that can hold a decent amount of weight. And that doesn't have the likelihood of tipping over. I personally went with Rogue for this one, and I will show that in another video when we talk about our home gym. Now, if you go for the wall-mounted options, the wall-mounted options can range anywhere from about $300 to as much as $1,000, depending on all the different options and features you want. I'm here to tell you, get the basic one first. And make sure you're going to use it before all of a sudden you start dropping some cash on the $1,000 options. I don't recommend that until you're really going to be a very seasoned gym rat. Then, of course, you have the squat cages, which are the freestanding units you see in a lot of high school gyms. Those are going to be anywhere from about $500 to, I've seen them go to well over $2,000 depending on the option. So where do I recommend getting them? So if you're going to go squat stand, Rogue is by far the one I've seen right now that has the most cost-effective one that tends to be very sturdy. If you're going to go for a wall-mounted unit, the two places you can take a look at, or Rogue has a good one, Rep Fitness has one, and there's another company called PRX. They have a foldable one that folds out if you're going to go into your garage. That one tends to be a little higher end, but it is very good quality on that. Now, when it comes down into cages, really you're not going to go wrong. You're just going to find one that feels best to you. If you're noticing that you're going to start developing into more of a strength sport, I'll cover a video over particular cages on that one. But if you're going to be getting heavy into strength sport stuff, make sure that if you do this, you see these holes that we got through here, you're going to want to look for a rack that if you're going to get into stuff that you're going to start pushing the strength realm a little bit, that these are at least about 1.5 inches to 2 inches apart. You see some that are about 3 to 4 inches apart, so then you got some of the rack that's some positions for the barbell to be in. Could be too tall for you, and it could be too short in other points. So get one with multiple holes, such as this, and you'll be set up in a much, much better spot. All right, but let's talk about barbells right now. So barbells, I'm going to give you kind of one rule of thumb with the barbell. Whatever you get, make sure it's got a good grip. I've got a couple different barbells we have here. Majority of these have come from Rogue Fitness. Again, I am biased because Rogue tends to be a little bit more commercial quality. So most of these come from Rogue Fitness, and in fact, a good barbell from Rogue, about $160. You can really not go wrong. And they have some on them that can go into the $800 range, which pretty much you just don't have any reason to get. But you need to make sure it's got a good grip. Most barbells are not going to be chrome plated. They may be nickel or zinc plated, but won't be chrome. I tend to stay away from the chrome just because if you go to some popular gyms and you pick up a chrome plated barbell, not all, but a lot, you're going to feel slick in your hands. It doesn't feel like the knurling, which is the grip grip on the bar. It doesn't feel good, and you do need a decent grip on it so it doesn't always fall out of your hands. But you're going to notice it just feels weak and cheap, and they actually bend and warp very easy. I've seen some that you put maybe 135 pounds on, which, trust me, if that sounds like a lot now, you'll find out that's really not that much for certain exercises. I've seen those get dropped and completely bend. And then that sucks if you spend 150 bucks on a barbell and all of a sudden you bent it within a year. I have had that happen. So a decent one can be from Rogue. We actually picked ours up from Rep Fitness as well. And for a good quality barbell on that one, that ran about $200. I'm gonna recommend that you're gonna spend at least about 150 bucks for a decent barbell. Keep in mind, if you're spending anything about $45, there might be a reason for that. So look for one that's got a good knurling, a good grip on it. If you can feel the barbell, it would be best. I tend to stay away from chrome-plated material because the chrome can flake off very easy. So that's when it comes down into barbells. Rogue Fitness, Rep Fitness, take a look at Amazon. We're going to provide a few links for some different options for you on this one. Now let's talk about plates. I've got two kind of options for you here. The first option, as we talked about, is going to be bumper. I'm going to lean a little bit more in this direction, just mostly because, and here's your example of bumper plates through here. Now, for those people that don't know what a bumper plate is basically a rubber plate, which you're kind of looking through here. What we're going to notice is it's all the same diameter. And the reason it's the same diameter is if you notice like how metal plates of 45 tends to be the biggest and, you know, as they get smaller, if you were to drop it, then the 45-pound plate's taking all that force if you have anything additional on that barbell. It's taking the force of the barbell, plus if you had a 25-pound or a 10-pound plate on it, it's taking everything, and you can run the risk of those cast iron plates breaking and also doing damage to your bar because it hits. Like if they say the 45-pound plate is the first thing it hits, well, that one spot hits on the barbell as well. If you drop the barbell a lot, then you want to go for bumper. If you don't plan on dropping a lot, you can go for metal, be perfectly fine. But here's bumper plates, and you're going to notice that some are a little bit different size than the others. You're going to have some that are very skinny, some that are medium, and then you have others down below that tend to be a little thicker. The reason they do this is if you do drop or plan on dropping it a lot, it disperses the force of the drop across all the plates and really saves the life of your plates, and it saves the life of a barbell if you're going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting. Now, if you're going to be dropping it, it also saves the life of the floor too as well. So that's your call if you want to do that. You can find plenty of bumper plates, you know, on sale. They're everywhere now, guys. There's no really problem with this one. Bumper plates tend to come in sets of 45, 25, and 10, 45, 35, 25, 10. You're going to see them come in sets like that. You can find them anywhere from about $200 and then go higher than that depending on the quality you want. Just understand you're probably spend a couple $100. Now, in some cases, such as you go to Rogue's website, you will find out that people will tend to bundle barbells and bumper plates together. If you see something like that, it's actually a decent option as well. Now, but I would actually take a look at Amazon, take a look at other sporting stores. Bumper plates are becoming very easy to get. They're not as difficult as they were, and thus the cost is really going down. Bumper plates way back in the day used to be, for a decent setup, you run about $400 or $500. Now they're, in some cases, under $200. But again, here's the metal plates. Metal plates, here's a good thing. They are cheap and readily available. You're going to tend to pay about 75 cents per pound with a metal plate. If you're going to be lifting on concrete, you're going to need a mat, which we'll go over in another video on down the road. You're going to need a mat. But if you're lifting inside, this may be a decent option for you. In fact, I saw a deal with Academy not too long ago that they were selling 300 pounds in weight plus a decent barbell, and I believe it was going for like $200, which really isn't bad. That covers a ton of stuff right down through there. But that's giving you some options. Plates, I'm here to tell you that you can collect plates. You can get a plate very easily on Craigslist, Amazon Marketplace, not Amazon Marketplace, they do have it, and Facebook Marketplace. Very quick thing. People are always ditching out plates. But if you do go with the route of buying a plate, I'm going to recommend that you be careful of the diameter of the plate. You're looking for Olympic plate with at least a 2-inch diameter. Some plates are going to be made for smaller barbells. I don't want you in a situation where the plate won't fit the barbell, so make sure it's an Olympic-sized plate. You type that in there, you'll know exactly what we mean, because it's basically got the diameter of the barbell, the diameter of the plate will fit a barbell. So right now we've covered what I consider level 3, which is going to be, you know, it's going to be, of course, the barbell, yeah, plates, and what was the last one we talked about? Barbell, plates, and dumbbells. We're going down that route. So, no, it wasn't dumbbells, was it? Dang it. Squat rack, that's what it was, squat rack. So, guys, right in front of me. So, I had to edit that video, take a look, and go, what did we just talk about? I just know I covered that. So, squat rack. So, we'll leave a couple different descriptions in there of what you can find, where you can find it, but I hope this video helps when it comes down to making your best quality decision. In other words, guys, the overall goal of this is when you start stepping up to level 3, you're going to be spending a little bit of money. Make sure you're ready to do that, and I want to make sure that you get the tips on getting the most bang for your buck for this one, getting a good quality piece of equipment that's going to last you for a good amount of time versus some cheaper pieces, which I can't tell you, nothing's going to be as frustrating as a piece of equipment that you invest into and it breaks in the first couple months. That's what we're trying to avoid. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you some ancillary ones in our next video.